Good morning. Do you see God in everything? I'll talk about that in just a second. Now, before I get into this too deeply, I'd like to first qualify something. I'm not saying that God is nature, or that we encounter God in some new age sort of way, the way some people do. That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm trying to point out here is that as a Christian, if you really look, you can see God in almost anything that you encounter. What I mean is when you go outside at night and you look up into the night sky, you can see the majestic stars and all of the things that are out there. And it looks very much to me like the hand of an artist that has created a cosmos that should just blow our minds. But you see, it goes deeper than that. It's in our stories, and it's in our literature, and it's in our heart. When we look at stories like The Lord of the Rings, we can see the struggle with sin as man goes forward trying to deal with that, and the sacrifices it takes from different people and characters in order for a sort of redemption to kind of occur and a new kingdom to be set up. When you look at other stories that we read, like King Arthur, we can definitely see literary characters that become Christ figures if you are looking. My point is that there's something in the heart of man that allows us to see these things. Even people that don't believe, that don't profess Christianity at all, understand this from time to time. I've noticed that a lot of the people were very careful when they were making the film The Lord of the Rings to get it correct. They wanted it to come off as correct, and it does. Even though all of them are probably not professing Christians, they did a good job making sure that it came off the way that it should, and I appreciate that. But if it's not just there, folks, it's not just in our literature and our poetry, it's in everything that we see. When we look into the face of a newborn baby or a small child that smiles at us, we see the hand of God. All of these things that are here scream that there is a great and wondrous Creator that has given us life and a beautiful world to enjoy. Now, don't make any mistake, this is a fallen world, and there are all kinds of problems and sin and trouble and disease and so much grief that's out there. But if you look hard enough, and if you pay attention, you can see the fingerprints of God everywhere. Poor Richard Dawkins. He's a very famous atheist, and he's written books like The God Delusion, and he makes statements like, if he dies and he discovers there is a God, he'll be asking questions like, well, why did you hide yourself? Why didn't you make yourself more apparent? Mr. Dawkins, if you ever see this video, which I doubt you do, understand that God screams of his existence from every mountaintop, from every cloud, from every animal that crawls across the earth, from every wave in the ocean. It points to the Creator. It points to everything that is there, that has been made by Him, that rejoices in the fact that it is a creation of God. It's so difficult for some people to grasp this. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to say some new age thing. That's not what I'm about. What I'm trying to get people to understand is that God tells us in His Scripture that even though people from the past may not have known who Christ was, that they should have known just by creation itself that there was indeed a Creator and a God of the universe that orchestrated everything. You can rest assured, my friends, when you look out and you see the complexity of life, that there is something that caused it to happen. And you can see it if you really look. Most of the time, if you don't see it, it's because you're not really looking, or you don't want to see it. I hope you see it. Have a great day. Be kind to each other. See you next time.